Before getting into this video, I would like to clarify something. In this video, there is no offense to any countries around the world. A few weeks ago on Discord, a passage has appeared. It is talking about some players has changed their country in order to purchase some in-game products with an insanely cheap price. However, this trick has been banned from Gameloft. In this video, I'll be talking about what the method is and how the Gameloft banned this trick, with the possible effects also. With no more delay, let's get into it. First of all, let's talk about some background information. Not all the countries are having well-developed economy. For example, Argentina is in a bit of economic mess. Therefore, the in-game purchase price are relatively cheaper, especially for it, in order to make more sales. However, some players from other countries has changed their countries to those countries to buy the products with an insanely cheap price. To be honest, it is an open secret, because not only on Asphalt Legends Unite, there are so many games which players will also use this method. But before the Legends Unite arrive, most of the players using this method are on Windows, since it is easier to be controlled on this platform. But after the Legends Unite arrive, global players could change their platform to Windows by cross-save, and then use this method to buy products with an insanely cheap price. Now, let's jump to the 22nd of July, when a long passage has appeared on Discord. It is talking about global players could use the above mentioned method, but Switch players can't. Because even though you could transfer your progress within different platforms, it doesn't support Switch, because they are linked to Sony login, not the Gameloft ID. And because of this, he doesn't think it's fair to the Switch players, and not gonna lie, I agree to his point. Because let's remember that the progress of Switch is far behind from global version. In the last 2 months before the Legends Unite launch, they were just roughly introduced tons of cards. And of course, they can't use the method I have mentioned above, therefore it is actually unfair to Switch players. So what is the final solution? Gameloft has changed the price for those countries, increasing them back to the same value converted from US dollar on 5th of August. Looks good, right? At least they have listened to the community. But no, this is the worst decision that Gameloft had made. Firstly, that guy is not asking for banning the method. Let's look at this part. My question to monthly therefore is, with the advent of Asphalt Diamonds, will it also be possible for us to buy these on cheap and be on equal footing with global player base? This means that he is trying to strive for the method appearing on Switch. But sadly, I've seen some people on Bilibili saying that this can't make Gameloft ban the method, and rationally, we should not let him suffer in this case, because he is trying to strive for Switch players, but it is just only Gameloft made the wrong decision. Secondly, with the ban for this method, will the sales volume of Asphalt Legends Unite increase? For sure, the answer is no. It's just simple. Why people use this kind of method to buy the products with an insanely cheap price? Because the products themselves are so fucking expensive. To go a top Clarx card nowadays, you need 1,000 US dollars. To be honest, for me, spending 100 US dollars is already considered to be expensive. How people will be willing to spend an insanely high price on a mobile racing game? With the method, they can go the car with just 15 US dollars, but now without the method, they will not spend on the game anymore. To be simple, it is just similar to the ban with for Drive Syndicate. Will those abusers spend on the future Drive Syndicate after their account being banned for abusing the game? No. Therefore, the solution is to attract more players to spend on game, not just increase the price to the same value. Thirdly, those countries suffer in this solution. Let me take an example for purchasing 3,000 tokens. In Argentina, they are just spending for 1.55 US dollar. However, now they need to spend 100 US dollar. The price is 64 times higher than before. And to be honest, this method is supposed to block those players who have changed their countries. But why at the end those countries without economic prosperity suffer? In my opinion, this method should not be a long-term solution because it is an extremely expensive price for those countries. Anyways, those I want to share, and now it's your turn. What do you think about the method of buying products with an insanely cheap price? Do you think the solution from Gameloft is a good idea? Comment your thoughts below. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you with more Asphalt Legends Unite content.
Don't you think we're done?